Okay, hello everybody.
Hello.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hence the hat.
Our family doesn't get together very often, so we get together on Christmas, and we thought that we'd do a quick introduction on how to use crypto, how to use the exchanges. Everyone's going to be getting their crypto presents this time of year, so we thought we'd do a crash course on how to understand and use the exchanges in crypto. So this is my brother and sisters, my lovely family. This is Kali.
Hiya.
And Dave. And Sarah. Hello. Say hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Very nice, very nice. So they had a few questions for me to go through as newbies to crypto, and I thought instead of explaining this over and over again to people, I just do a video and then I can refer everyone to the video. So let's kick off with the questions then. So
Right.
what do you guys want to know about crypto? What's your main
A fair bit.
worries?
Yeah,
A fair bit.
yeah.
Top of the list.
We've heard about lots, but we've never really sat down as a family and decided, right, we're going to have a good crash course in it. So I think...
We know bits here and bits there.
Yeah,
So.
if we go around this way, then Sarah, you ask the first one. And then we'll carry on.
Okay, so Matt, our first question for you, Mr.
Oh, no.
Genius,
Oh no.
is how do you exchange, buy and sell GBP into cryptocurrency?
Okay, very good. GBP being Great British Pound, but we'll show you for any currency so you can understand from a basic principles. So I use a lot this website called CoinMarketCap. I think nearly every crypto trader and every crypto person uses this site primarily. It's a fantastic site. It tells you where all the different information about the different coins is and how to. I'll go into quickly to how to use this thing so you can see what the basics are. So it's coinmarketcap.com. Look at them all taking notes, the cute little kids. Oh.
It's just me with the
We're
pen.
not little kids anymore.
It feels like that.
Still
So
Matt's baby brothers and sisters.
no. So we've got Bitcoin here, which is the top one. So let's just do that for an example to start off with. The market cap means the value of the currency. So how many dollars the price is times the number of coins is the volume. It is the value of the coin, yeah. So it's currently valued at $270 billion, which is crazy. So that's the price times the number of coins, which is 16 million times 16,000 is 270 billion. And then you've got this is the volume traded on all the exchanges in the last 24 hours. So it's $12 billion in the last 24 hours of exchange, which is crazy. And this is the 24-hour change, so it's up 14.78% in the last 24 hours. And this is a quick little chart to show you what it looks like over the last 7 days. Yeah, so you can get a quick feel. Yeah, is that clear?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Little chart at the end.
So if I click into Bitcoin or click on the chart, whichever one, let's do that for now. You can see all these stats come up again. You can see the website, yeah, the message board. So if you want to go and read about the coin in more detail, it's all there. For now, I won't show you that. This is the price chart. So what the price has done over the last, since the records began, basically, which is all. You can change it to year. That's the last year worth of action. Then the last 3 months. Then the last month. And the last 7 days. Yeah. So you can see a good view of what the chart's been doing. Yeah. And then along here you've got these tabs. You see the tabs, yeah?
Yep.
So if you click on markets, markets will show you all the places on CoinMarketCap where Bitcoin is traded, right? So it's all the different exchanges in the world that CoinMarketCap has listed. Okay, so here we've got, I don't know how many hundred, I've never checked actually, but it's lots. It's like hundreds of places that you can buy and sell Bitcoin.
So that's way more than what I thought.
Oh, I thought there were only a couple.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I didn't realise there were so many.
So did I until just, no, I'm joking. So what you can do here is, so this is the name of the place that you can trade. So if you wanted to trade the coin in that place, you'd have to have an account with those people. Yeah.
Okay.
And then these are the pairs. So that the pair means, is it from Bitcoin into US dollars or Bitcoin? This one's Korean won. So the Koreans are going crazy about Bitcoin at the moment because they have the volume for the US dollar, which is like America and most of the rest of the world, is 887 billion.
Wow.
But the Koreans are doing 651 billion today.
And it's not like many other countries use Korean.
No,
or change
well,
into
this
Korean
is it,
for
because
ease,
yeah.
like we do with US dollars.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all solely from that tiny, well, not tiny, but small.
Well, it's the same as our country. There are
Yeah,
about
yeah.
65 million people, I think, something like that. And they're currently responsible for the second highest volume in all Bitcoin trading.
Incredible.
And what does that mean, right? If you look at the prices, can you see the prices there?
Means Koreans are very clever.
Maybe, yeah, maybe not, because if you look, right, look at the prices. It's 15,000 on these exchanges, yeah?
Yeah.
16,000 on that exchange, but the Koreans, they're willing to pay $19,000 for a Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
because there's so many of them that want to buy, they're pushing the price up.
Yeah.
And they are single-handedly responsible for a lot of this recent boom, actually.
Mm.
So it's important to watch the Koreans, because if the Korean volume drops, it means that there's not as much support for the Bitcoin price. Now, that may be because a lot of Chinese are buying through Korean exchanges, because there's a lot of regulation in China about buying Bitcoin now.
Right.
But no one really knows for sure, but it's definitely high
It would
volume in
make sense.
Korea.
Mhm.
It would make sense. So that's kind of how that works. And then what you can do is you can sort by source. So if you click on source, you can sort alphabetically. Well, that's opposite to alphabet. Hold on, there you go. So then you can start grouping the exchanges. You can see Binance has all these pairs to trade Bitcoin in.
Okay, wow.
Right. So
Are they mainly fiat currencies? Or
No, they're all cryptos.
All crypto.
Yeah, Binance is only crypto as far as I know.
Wow. Okay.
So then you've got BitZ, which trades all these different pairs into Bitcoin. And then Bitfinex is one of the big exchanges. So you've got Bitcoin US dollar there, but you've got Bitcoin Euro, Bitcoin Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash to Bitcoin, which is quite an interesting pair. Litecoin to Bitcoin, IOTA to Bitcoin. So you see all these different exchanges.
Yeah.
So this one place can tell you where these things are traded. And then also important here is to see the percentage of trade in each place.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can get an idea for how much volume is on each exchange. So, if I want to trade GBP, have you guys got any idea how I would do that?
Haven't got a clue.
Okay.
Well, I've got a rough idea. Maybe you would just buy onto one of the exchanges and you'd probably end up trading in British pounds, then exchange that into USD.
Dollars, yeah.
And then which you would buy the Bitcoin from on that exchange, and maybe a week's time you'll have Bitcoin, right?
But how would you find the exchange then? How would you find the exchange?
So what I've kind of coined from this is that you would maybe click on the source, or maybe Google or something the source.
It's the pair. You click on the pair.
Right.
Yeah, so if I click on the pair,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go Control F to find, and I do GBP.
Yep.
So that will give me
I see.
the first place I can find GBP.
Yeah.
Right, it's got $5 million worth of trade,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called CoinFloor.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'll just click on that into a new tab, and that'll give me the link to CoinFloor, and this tells me all the things that are traded on CoinFloor.
Right.
Okay, so it's Bitcoin GBP, Bitcoin Cash GBP, Bitcoin US dollar. I don't know what PLN is. I probably should know. And then Bitcoin Euro.
Okay.
And the majority of the trade there, $5 million, is done in British pounds. Okay. But this again works for any currency. So you could do, if you're looking to trade into dollars or into Japanese yen or into South African rand, you can do the same technique on this page and find your currency. Another one is Coinsbank. So remember what I was telling you about the volumes? It's important to trade on high volume exchanges.
Yeah.
So CoinFloor's got $5 million, $6 million, but Coinsbank has got $24 million in British pounds of trade.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's obviously a real benefit to trading on Coinsbank. Bitcoin Indonesia. Oh no, that's not in pounds anymore.
It's just the three, isn't it?
So those are the main ones in pounds. Let's see if we can find some more in pounds. If I do Control F.
Because I've noticed that all of those are just Bitcoin to GBP.
Yeah.
So what happens if we wanted? Could we possibly exchange straight from GBP into an alternative cryptocurrency? Other than
Yeah,
Bitcoin?
so you can do that as well. But let's just focus on Bitcoin for now.
Mm-hmm.
So let me finish this part. So you've got CoinFloor, which is it's British pounds. Coinsbank and GDAX do British pounds. Yeah, can you see those three there?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then let's just have a look for some more. No, that's it. According to this Bitcoin, the only places you can buy and sell Bitcoin, according to CoinMarketCap, are CoinFloor, Coinsbank, and GDAX.
Okay.
Through GBP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you want to do it any other way, like you'd have to change GBP into a different currency to then buy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into US
For
dollars
example, the
first.
Bittrex. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Because big checks don't do Great British Pound to Bitcoin straight off. You have to change to US dollars in between, or something else in between first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the other thing is,
Gosh, why is it only a couple?
I don't know.
They've gone
It's
from
quite,
Great British Pound.
because there's not many people use from pounds doing it. There's not much demand in the
Do you
market.
lose much going from pounds to dollars though, with conversions?
If you're from pounds to dollars, it depends where you exchange the pounds and dollars.
Okay.
If you can exchange them in your own bank, they'll give you maybe a 3% spread between the buy and the sell. A proper currency exchange, like a normal independent exchange that you just use in a normal bank, it's not cryptocurrency, might give you quite a tight spread as well. You just have to find the best rates in the best places. Let me try and find Wirex, because this is another place you can sell bitcoins for fiat.
So I am unaware of what fiat means.
Fiat means British pounds, US dollars, euros, any normal currency basically.
Okay.
Fiat basically means currency that's printed out of thin air and a debt is attached to it, and it's perpetually devalues.
Okay.
So we showed you Wirex yesterday. So Wirex is a place where you can get a card. I've got my card here. I'll open that. So this is a Wirex card, just like a normal Visa card. Hold on.
We'll all have one of these.
Yeah. So my family's gonna get these as well. And this is where you can send bitcoins to, and you can sell those bitcoins into pounds and put them onto your card, and then you can spend that card like a normal Visa card. And as far as I understand, the SEC in the USA, not Britain, I don't know what the rules for Britain are yet, but the SEC in the USA has said that small purchases won't be taxed. Anything below $600 won't be taxed. So it means now people who have got Bitcoin can go and spend for small purchases like drinks, food, restaurants, things like that. As long as they don't go above $600 per purchase,
Tax free.
it's supposed to be tax free. Yeah, so that's a massive thing.
Massive, yeah.
Really is very, very. It shows that the governments are being flexible, and it's going to make regulation a lot easier for larger purchases then, because then you'll have to report your larger purchases. So Wirex and also 10x we use. 10x is another one. Oops, 10x like that. This is another site where you can send your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrency to. The difference between Wirex and 10x is that 10x has got its own coin behind it, whereas Wirex hasn't. And at the moment, 10x has got more currencies on for crypto. So on 10x, you can trade Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and a couple of others, I think, and they're adding more. So the idea with that is you can send any of those currencies to 10x and then sell them into US dollars or sell them into British pounds. And then again, on your 10x credit card, well, it's a Visa card. It's a prepaid Visa card. You can spend that money into shops and things like that.
Okay.
So you said you can, with 10x and Wirex, you can go direct from GBP into Bitcoin, or is that just with 10x?
Definitely with Wirex. I'm not sure with 10x, but I'm pretty sure you can with 10x. With 10x, you can go into British pounds. Yeah, and then you can buy back as well. So as far as I understand, you can then exchange those Bitcoins into British pounds and then send those British pounds into another account.
Oh, okay.
It's quite expensive to do.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's not always going to get the best price, but you can get a really good exchange rate and then send those to your own accounts or to other accounts, and send those pounds to other accounts.
Is there any
fast?
Is there any additional benefit?
It's the same as a normal bank. When you go into fiat, it's the same time as a normal bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any additional benefit to having these? Is maybe a bonus for having it, or obviously the bonus is that you can exchange from your cryptocurrency into standard fiat. Is there any other reasons as to why you could have a card? Does it give you a bonus for having it? Or?
Yeah, Wirex will pay you every year. They pay you a dividend. If you're a Wirex card user, they pay you 0.1% of their profits. And if you are a Wirex, if you're a 10x coin holder, they will pay you 0.5% of their profits every year. So
It's kind of like interesting.
It's like a dividend, like an interest dividend, yeah, every year. So it's really good because because it's all done with cryptocurrency and it's decentralized, with 10x, they can save a lot of money, so they can now afford to pay their users a little bit of money rather than
reward them for saying
thank
you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's have a quick look at some of the features of CoinMarketCap, because I think there's some really good stuff on here. So we were talking about what else can we trade our British pounds for? Yeah. And again, what I'm going to show you works in any other currency as well. So if I go to click on the British pound, Let me see if I can get this to work. I know. So if we go to British pound GBP, and then let's go to GDAX, for example, the exchange, and let's see what else we can trade our British pounds in.
Fantastic. Okay.
Only into Bitcoin. Only Bitcoin now. Okay. So let's have a look at
GDAX.
That's on GDAX.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's have a look at another exchange.
Is it a case that CoinMarketCap might not specify all different websites
You
or
mean they
different
might have missed
exchanges? Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Of course, they're not responsible to list everything.
Mm.
So I don't know what their criteria is for listing, but they list what they know.
But more than likely they won't miss a platform, an exchange off that is got quite a big or high
Volume on it, yeah.
volume. Of
Yeah. If it's a really big popular exchange, it'll be on CoinMarketCap.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So let's have a look at CoinFloor. CoinFloor is the next one, where you can exchange pounds and bitcoins. So this one's got two. It's got Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash that you can exchange your British pounds for.
Look at the, just a question. What we were saying before about the volume?
Yeah.
The percentage.
Yeah.
You know the ones you were showing us not long ago, they were like 0.02.
Yeah, but that's of the overall market.
Okay.
This is just on the exchange of CoinFloor now.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see that it's only CoinFloor, and so these are the things that are traded on CoinFloor. Okay. And it's decent volume. 6 million's not bad. It's not great, so it means you're not going to get the best price between the buy and the sell.
Mm-hmm.
What's important about the buy and the sell price is that if you have a really big difference between the buy and the sell price, once you buy, you're already 10% down or something when you try to sell. So you want to try to find exchanges with high volume so that you get a really nice difference between the buy and the sell price, a really tight spread between the buy and the sell.
It's like how that one's 94%.
Well, this doesn't list the buy and the sells. This doesn't show you the buy and the sells. Okay. It's 94% of CoinFloor.
Okay. It's when you click into Bitcoin that you have to look at the.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's when you go into the exchanges as well. You have to just check the difference between the buy and the sell prices to make sure you're not getting a big difference between the buy price and the sell price.
Okay.
So you get that, yeah?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Okay.
So Matt, currently, if you wanted to withdraw, from Bitcoin back into pounds, British pounds, how long would that take?
It depends. So if you're using Wirex, it's instantaneous. It takes about 4 seconds. I literally just sell some Bitcoins into pounds or into euros on Wirex, and then a little message comes up on my app. Done, and you've got the pounds in your account, and then you can spend them immediately.
With your card.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you want to go through a traditional exchange and you want to exchange into pounds and then send those pounds to somewhere else via the normal banking system, it can take a few days.
Yeah.
So for small purchases on Wirex and 10x, it's really quick because you're just going to be spending. But if you're trying to send, say, £10,000 somewhere or something, God forbid we had £10,000 to spend, then you could wait for a number of days to send those pounds from a traditional coin exchange bank to a traditional bank.
However, there's a higher price to exchange it instantaneously than it is to go through the.
No. If you do it instantaneous on Wirex, it's free. The only thing that you pay is the Bitcoin transaction fee. So it's free to exchange back into pounds. It's really, really amazing. But of course, you're not going to use that for massive transfers. No. You're just going to use it for small purchases. Right. Whereas if you're trying to send £10,000 from one place to another, especially if it's off a crypto exchange, you'll probably end up paying a minimum of £100 to do that.
Right.
So example, if I was on a night out and I ran out of money and I wanted to do it this way, I could just quickly, in 5 minutes, just transfer Bitcoin into British pounds. No problem. In about 10 minutes, I'll have it all on my card.
5 seconds.
10 seconds, yeah.
Even better. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
And then you can go and buy drinks or pay for a taxi or whatever you need to. Yeah.
But I guess the point is, I guess this what you're trying to say is it's not a good idea to hold a lot of money on this card.
You shouldn't ever hold more than, I'd say, £1,000 on that card at most. Right. Because if the card gets hacked and you lose £1,000, all right, it's not the end of the world. But if the card, you'll always be able. You're never going to be spending more than £1,000. So the idea, I'll always say, never leave your cryptocurrency on an exchange because it can get stolen.
Yeah.
All these exchanges are liable to be hacked and your coins to be stolen. So don't always move your coins off an exchange onto a private wallet or a wallet that you've created on bitaddress.org or something like that. Do you know bitaddress.org?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
This is one where you can print it off on paper.
yeah. I'll show you that.
And you create your private key and public key offline.
This is one that we did years ago, isn't it?
Yeah. So the technology's moved on a bit since this, but this is still sort of the fundamental basic method.
What are you doing now?
I'm getting entropy. This is for entropy into the creation of the
It's
wallets.
creating artwork.
So you have to move it around to get. So now you've got your wallet.
Oh my gosh, you didn't have to use to do that. Did
No,
you?
it's a new feature. Yeah. So that's a public key and a private key. So you would always move your Bitcoin to the public key and don't tell anyone the private key. Keep that secret. So that's a quick wallet that you can make.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'd recommend is using one of these, which I think you should all go and get now. Is either a Trezor. 1 second.
Whoops.
Can you just check that says to make sure it's all okay? We can cut that out. Yeah? So we just knocked the camera over. So you can use a Trezor, which is a Trezor wallet, which is like this, yeah? Doesn't have a look at that.
Okay, go for it.
Or you can use a Ledger Nano S, which is like this. And they
Is that
will
like
hold.
a USB?
Yeah. They will hold your private keys.
I'm intrigued to know what these two buttons are on here.
This hasn't got. This isn't an actual USB then.
No, it's for
doesn't-
storing
Oh, it's got
private
a
keys.
screen there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would always keep your Bitcoin on the public key. You're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you keep the public key public, so you can tell people your public key.
So if in case I want to transfer to you,
Right.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
But
Okay.
you never tell anyone your private key, because once you tell someone your private key,
then they've got access
then
to
they've got
you.
access to all your coins on you.
Yeah, yeah.
And what this does, these two devices, they keep your private keys offline.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what my private keys are, and no one else does either.
Mm-hmm.
And they're never exposed. They're clever. They've got like this feature where when you plug them into your computer, they never expose the
Private
software private key to the internet. Yeah, so no one can ever hack it. And so as a result, you don't know your private keys. No one else knows your private keys. Therefore, no one can ever hack you.
So how do we order these?
You go to the websites and order them.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
Okay, I like this. It's disguised very cleverly as a USB, but actually there's a connector here for a wire.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a USB.
Yeah. Sorry, did you mention that already? Missed that.
No, I didn't mention it. I just said I thought it was that.
So
Oh, okay.
if I was to plug this into your computer,
Yeah.
would this automatically pick up the details to that wallet and then transfer it off, or
Yeah,
do
you have to
do
put
it
a
all yourself?
passcode in.
Yeah.
So you
And
know the passcode for it, and you
and
type
it,
that in.
it jumbles on the screen. It jumbles up the numbers. In fact, let me put it in. I'll see if it can get it to work. So we'll plug it in now. See if it works. Can you see the screen? No, they can't see
So
the
this
screen.
one's your Trezor that you're showing us
wow.
now.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I go to Google Chrome, no, that's not Google Chrome. Unfortunately, at the moment, you have to use it from Google Chrome, which I don't like at all, because I
Yeah.
don't like using things with Google. I think they've finished Google, and we need to start using more open source softwares like the Tor network, and a little bit of Firefox as well is better. But eventually, if Trezor's got any sense, they'll build these platforms on those internet
Yes.
servers. So if I go to my Trezor wallet there, it should ask for a password. So can you see how the numbers here are jumbled up? They're
Oh,
not.
wow.
They're not in. I know you can't see it on the screen, guys, but they're all jumbled up in a funky order. So if I click there, it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's all in a
Okay.
different order.
Uh-huh.
So my password is that.
So I'm guessing you set this password up when you get your
Yeah.
device.
Yeah. Just cross it off and unplug it.
Okay, so what's the difference between this ledger and that Trezor
Just
then?
two different companies that do the same thing, basically.
And have you found one?
I prefer the Trezor.
Okay.
Because
I don't know. I just like it. I just like the user interface, and I just like the way it's set up. I like it's simple. It's not trying to be anything flashy either. Whereas Ledger is a little bit more pretty, and for me, I prefer the Trezor. But I don't want to knock Ledger. It's still a fantastic device, and
what's
people.
the? I know this sounds daft, but it's a question that people are going to ask. What's the price difference?
I don't know. Go and look it up.
Okay.
No, when you bought them.
They're about the same price.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay,
$20
okay.
difference.
I just wondered if one was like a lot cheaper than the other one.
No, they're around about $100 each, I think,
Okay.
if I remember rightly.
Okay. Well, it was funny because actually this is one question that I was going to ask you was which was the best hard storage, is that what you call it?
Hardware wallet.
Hardware wallet, that's
or cold
it.
storage.
Which is what we're going to say. How do you
Cold
currently
storage.
hold your cryptocurrency off the exchanges, and would you best recommend?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the way to do it. Yeah.
Great.
They all work the same as that piece on the bitaddress.org. However, these are, you can hold them and carry them with you, whereas that's a piece of paper that could.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now we're into. I think those are the basics, right?
Okay.
Actually, before we go into more advanced, let's just use one of the exchanges. Let's go into CoinFloor. Hold on. Sorry, press the wrong button. So CoinFloor. Let's go to their website, coinfloor.co.uk. So they're clearly a British company.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can sign up for them. You'll probably have to provide a proof of address, so like a bank statement with your address on, and a passport photo, so that they know that you're buying and selling. One thing I will say is that when you sell from cryptocurrency into fiat currency, it is a taxable event.
Okay.
So, and I'm not sure. We'll have to see tax advisors on this, but I'm not sure whether you get taxed when you remove the pounds from the exchange, or when you actually just sell the bitcoins into pounds.
Is this the same thing that would be applicable to using 10x and YRX?
No.
In theory, no, because at the moment I don't know what the tax rules are in the UK. I don't think they've been made clear yet.
Mm-hmm.
But in the US, the initial tax rules say, the SEC says that anything below $600 is not taxable.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, so it's just for small purchases. You can't, because of course, if you're going to be doing small purchases, you already pay tax on those small purchases because the tax is built into the price.
Mm-hmm.
So why should you be paying tax when you sell in order to buy something?
That's all they do.
You know, because you're getting taxed on both sides, and it's
Yeah.
like it just starts to look ridiculous. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, like you just have to be careful going into fiat. I think if you're going into small quantities, it's okay. But when you go into a large quantity, if you go into say $10,000 or $20,000 worth of fiat, then you need to be wary of the tax. You need to be wary of the location of where you're living, and you need to report those transactions to the government at the end of the year.
Guys, I guess if any of you know anything more on the tax rates, I guess, then please let us know in the comments as well.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. Yeah, that's right, Carl. The tax attorneys on this are going to make a fortune because everyone's going to be wanting to know what the hell's going on. No one really knows at the moment. But as long as you don't go back into fiat, you're okay. And if you do go back into fiat in large quantities, you need to pay tax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay, so this is the exchange. This is a typical buy and sell curve. So this is the buy. These are the buys below the price, and these are the sells as the price goes up. So there's a lot of sellers here, and these are called sell walls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you can see between here there's 9 Bitcoin to sell to there, and then 20. So this sell wall is worth 10 Bitcoins. So someone's trying to sell 10 Bitcoins on this exchange
Okay.
at a price of £12,000. Yeah.
Okay.
In order for the price to go above £12,000, someone needs to buy those 10 Bitcoins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
more than one person.
Or more than one person.
Right,
Yeah. And so these are all called sell walls, and these are called buy walls. So these are people that want to buy Bitcoin. So there's 16. So that's 12. So this wall here is 12 Bitcoins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Someone wants to buy 12 Bitcoin.
Someone wants to buy 12 Bitcoins underneath the price. And the reason it's moving is because the market's live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's moving like this, yeah. So that's kind of what the exchange looks like.
What period of time is that over? Is that just right now, this very instant?
Yes, it's happening right now.
Okay.
Right now. I can't go into many more details because I'm not signed up to this site, but I can go into one of my favourite sites, which is, I feel, the second most important site in Bitcoin at the moment, is Bitcoin Wisdom. Mm-hmm. So Bitcoin Wisdom will give you basically the 2 major US exchanges for Bitcoin US dollar trades. One is Bitfinex and one is Bitstamp, and this is what I follow to follow what the real Bitcoin price is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I don't know whether you guys can see it from there, but you see up here, this is the same that we were just looking at. See these lines?
Yeah.
That's exactly the same that we were just looking at on the
Like
other
the
screen.
10 and the 12.
Yeah. It's called the buy wall and the sell wall.
Which one's red? Which one's green?
So anything
what
below
you
the
mean?
price is the buys. Yeah. And anything above the price is the sells.
Okay.
So you can see here on this exchange at 15,700, there's a huge set of sellers. You see how flat that is there? And if we just go up here, let's have a look. It's 10. That's it there. That's 16 coins. So someone up here is selling 16 coins.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll see that go up to like 400 coins, yeah. Someone will be selling 400 coins at say 16,000. And it's to try to stop the price from getting through that level, yeah.
Wow.
And then down here, these are all the buys. So below the price here, you can see there's a 2, there's a 3 Bitcoins, yeah. So that's all these. So you can see there's not many. There's a lot of buyers underneath, but there's not like one concentrated at one price. It's kind of staggered all the way down, yeah. And now, what you can see that's changing all the time because the market's live and the price is moving around. With depending on where the transaction is made, if it's made in the buy side or the sell side, then the price will move. Yeah. So at the moment we're at 15,700, and this list here is called the time and sales. This is a record of every single buy and sell that ever happened on that exchange live.
Okay.
So the more green that happens, the more the transactions made in the buy side.
Okay,
Into the cells above the price, yeah. And the more red that happens, the more the transactions are happening in the red side, which is below the price.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can see, and this is the number. So there was 1 Bitcoin there, 1 Bitcoin, 0 point something Bitcoins, yeah. Sometimes 5 Bitcoins, yeah. So at the moment, because it's Christmas Day, the market's dead. I can see the volume's pretty slow. This isn't moving very fast at the moment.
Okay.
But you can see, that gives you an idea of what's happening with the price. It tells you where the buyers are, where the sellers are. It tells you sort of how tight. You can see, we were talking about tight markets. This is a tight market. The buy is 15,701 and the sell is 15,709.
Wow.
So it's like almost zero between the buy and the sell, yeah. Whereas on other markets, you'll find that would be 15.7 and 15.71. Yeah, so $100 between the price, the buy and the sell.
Okay.
And it's
You mean on a different coin, that is? That would be on a
It could be on a different coin. It could be on Bitcoin as well.
Okay.
So this is a really, really cool site. I really love this site because it just gives you the information raw up front and it tells you what the price is doing. You can change this. That's a 15-minute chart. This is a 5-minute chart, a 3-minute chart, and a 1-minute chart, meaning that each bar is worth 1 minute. And if I click on the 3-minute, now each bar is worth 3 minutes. Yeah. So you can get like a really zoomed in version. And if I click on the daily chart, so you can see that today it's gone up quite a lot from 14,000 to 15, nearly 16,000.
And this is only trades that are happening through Bitcoin Wisdom?
Through Bitfinex. This is the exchange up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if I click on Bitstamp, that's a Bitstamp exchange. Slightly different price. That's 15.8 rather than 15.7. So it's a slightly different price.
And is one that shows you overall, or you only have?
Well, really, the coin market cap is the one that's overall.
Okay.
So if I get that up, so the Bitcoin price on coin market cap is 16,029.
Right.
And that is because it takes into account every known exchange and weights them. So if it's like 90% of the volume, it'll give it a 90% weighting.
Right.
But it takes into account all the other ones as well. So so at the moment you see like on here it's 15.8, right, for this exchange. But on the Korean exchange that we were looking at, remember?
Yeah.
If I just click sort it by volume, the Korean exchange was $19,000.
Yeah.
Right.
So it kind of averages that in. So as a result, on Bitstamp it's 15.8, but on CoinMarketCap it's 16 because it averages in that 19,000 from the Koreans.
Okay.
Yeah. I've got a feeling that is the Chinese buying it actually.
Yeah.
I think. The more I think about it. So now we've done that. You've seen the exchange that we can go to. You've seen the chart that I go to read Bitcoin. One of the things that I think is really interesting now is now that you've got an option between all these different exchanges. Let's just focus on Bitcoin for now. Do you think, from looking at that all the exchanges have got the same prices?
No.
No, definitely not.
So does that mean that then therefore there's a chance to make money?
Yes.
Of course.
Because if you can, why?
If you
If you
use
can
one
buy
that
it
has a lower
You can
rate.
buy it cheaper,
Yeah.
then buy it
Buy
there,
cheap,
and you can
sell
sell it
high,
on
yeah.
one that is higher.
Yes, exactly.
You don't particularly have to buy and sell on the same platform.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea is that if you take into account all of the fees to move your money there and to move your money away,
Yeah.
because of course if you're going to move money away, you have to pay fees, and you take into account the price differences, then there's lots of opportunities to make money because you can sell Bitcoin at a higher price on one exchange and buy it at a lower price on the other exchange.
Yeah.
And so people specialise in this,
Yeah.
and it means the markets become very efficient because they try to because the more people buying in one place and selling in the other place, eventually the price comes back together. Now the interesting thing for me is I haven't looked at this myself, but if you take a look at that Korean exchange, BitHum, where's that?
So I'm guessing then that if they're kind of in competition with each other, if they do 0.01 lower to buy, then more people will be drawn to it.
Exactly.
So that's like
It's a
their
constant
little,
competition.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now I think if I remember rightly, on this exchange they've banned withdrawals of cash. So this is why the price is going up because you can't keep removing cash.
BitHum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, but as soon as you see this, right, so there was an opportunity a few weeks ago, and maybe there still is today, I don't know, you'd have to have a look at it yourselves if you wanted to. But you can basically, if you can work out how much it costs to withdraw money off that exchange, yeah, then you can buy Bitcoins on Bitstamp for like 15,000 and sell them on here for 19,000.
Right.
Make a $4,000 profit on one Bitcoin. And then as long as it doesn't cost you more than $4,000 to move that money off the exchange, the difference is yours. Yeah. And that's called arbitrage. Yeah. And you'll find that all over the place. There's so many different coins that are selling at different prices on different exchanges. And because these markets are still very young, there's lots of price differences between.
There's not enough competition out there in order to keep it.
But of course, if you're on a really small exchange, you don't want to be trading. So you could, on a really small exchange, you might find the price is really, really low. Yeah, but on a really big exchange, you might find the price is really, really high. But of course, if you buy too much on the small exchange, you'll end up getting a really bad price because there's no volume there. Because I was saying before about the spreads. Yeah. So you have to check to make sure there's enough volume to make sure that you can buy to a certain point and then still send the Bitcoins across somewhere else and sell them to make the money. Or vice versa, if you're buying in a liquid exchange and selling on a really illiquid exchange, you have to make sure that the sells, whatever volume you're selling, doesn't take the price down so much that you lose the difference. Yeah? But it's just logic, yeah. There's nothing clever about it. You just have to do your little calculations first, yeah. So that's Bitcoin, right? If we now go to other coins, so let's take a look at Steam. Because we like Steam.
We do.
We love.
So we all know what Steam is, a social media platform. Yeah, that's on the blockchain. Yeah, it's $3.24. Is it $4 the other day?
It was at $7 last night.
No, that's Steam back dollars.
Oh, $7. Sorry, yeah.
We'll get onto that in a minute.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it not really dropped then.
So Steam is trading at $3.24. Now, go on, you guys tell me, how do I find out which exchange I can sell or buy Steam on?
Markets.
Yeah.
So go to markets, yeah?
Scroll down.
Scroll down.
There they are.
Control and F. Or
Well, there's only a few. There's only
just look
15.
for the one that says yeah.
But with Steam, you can only do from US dollar. You can't do from GBP.
No.
But you can do from Bitcoin.
US dollars.
So, say for example, if I wanted to do that, how would I
Euros.
then get from GBP into USD?
The same way you would before cryptos existed. Yeah, so you can go to your bank and you can ask your own bank to change for you. You can go to any money exchange website that will exchange the money for you into pounds or into dollars or whatever.
We can use websites like Kraken, Bitstamp, I think, as one, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they do pounds into dollars.
Right. Yeah.
But you can do pounds into bitcoins and then bitcoins into dollars if you want to.
Okay.
But what generally Steam, most altcoins, right? The difference between Bitcoin and the other altcoins is Bitcoin is the one where you can take US dollars or pounds into cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
And then generally all the other exchanges, it's just cryptocurrency.
Yes.
So it's like the big daddy is Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and then all the other currencies are altcoins, and you get into those through Bitcoin. So
Would you say the best way to do it is to put your money into Bitcoin first and then put it onto an exchange if you wanted to exchange it into other cryptocurrencies? Is that
that's generally the best way. That some currencies now are going from fiat straight into that currency.
Right.
But again, you can find those. You can find those on.
Well, you can tell by how popular it is to go from GBP to a different currency on here. CoinMarketCap just showed it, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that in time that there'll be more.
There'll be more, in
That
time.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But for now, it's easy to go from Great British Pound to Bitcoin and then branch from there of what you want to change.
And the great thing about that is as well, you don't need to worry about tax issues after that. Because once you're out of the fiat system and you're in cryptocurrencies, you should just be able to trade Bitcoin's for Steam, and then Steam for Ethereum, and until you eventually get back into pounds. That's when you pay the tax.
And then that's when you deal with the tax, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you trade your GBP for Bitcoin when Bitcoin is really low price, then you're going to get more for your money than if you trade it when it's at a high price.
Yeah.
So wait for it to perhaps to be on a downwards curve.
Yeah. But you get this thing called FOMO, which is fear of missing out,
Yeah.
where people don't think the price is going to come down, and then it goes, and then they buy on the way up, and then they get a really bad price,
Yeah.
and then it comes down, or it doesn't come down, they miss it forever,
Okay.
However, sorry, go on.
And it's the same way if you're buying, you have that spread. If you're trying to get out, you have exactly that same spread.
That's right, yeah.
So you could end up saying, I want to sell it, let's say $15,000 on the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And really, when you actually get out in the end, it's actually down at 12,000 because the spread's so big.
Yeah, that could happen if you're trading on a really liquid exchange. Yeah, you could get that. It's unlikely you'll get that bad a deal, but for the example, you have to be wary of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if, for example, you wanted to go tomorrow and you were quite desperate to get a coin, you'd have to go through Bitcoin no matter what the price is if you're willing to do it.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
If you have the time and you have the knowledge, you can still get the best deal you can.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So
That's handy to know. So realistically, if you want to do anything with this, you'd best to go through Bitcoin first.
I would say it's best to go from your fiat into Bitcoin first,
Yeah.
and then through other things. And slowly but surely, there are more options coming. So I think Ethereum. Well, let's have a look at Ethereum.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Ethereum for now.
Yeah, so look, if I wanted to buy into Ethereum, I'd go Great British Pounds, Bitcoin, and then buy Ethereum with my Bitcoin.
Probably, but we can check here. I don't know, but you can check here now.
Okay.
So Ethereum, yeah. So here's the Ethereum one.
Yeah.
Go to where? To markets, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, the Ethereum price is nearly at $800, which is...
Oh, you can do that from US.
And then this one, if we click on pair to sort by pair, so you can see all the pairs here that trade in Ethereum. So at the moment, that's crypto. Let's just sort for US dollar. So yeah, Bitfinex will do US dollars to Ethereum. GDAX will do it. Oh, all these lows will do it, look.
Okay, but...
Yeah, so Livecoin...
Oh, because you're looking for an alternative way other than just going fiat to
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But they definitely don't do Great British Pound.
I don't know, we'll check. So you've got Bitfinex, GDAX, Gemini, Bitstamp, and looking here, 114 million, 176 million, 39 million. So it's sorted it by volume for us.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want the best price for Ethereum US dollar in terms of the tight spread, you go to Bitfinex because the price is 732, which is lower than that. And you definitely get a better price between the spreads. And that's a general rule. That's why they've got 5% of the volume in Ethereum. Yeah. And then the worst one, so this will give you a good example, DSX, I don't know what exchange that is, but it's only got $261,000 today. The price is 745, which is already higher than this one. And it's only 0.01% of the volume of the Ethereum market.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you stay away from that exchange. It's probably like a dodgy exchange anyway. I don't know. Maybe it's a grey exchange, but it hasn't got much volume.
Yeah.
Let's have a look for another currency.
Okay.
So if we start at the top and then find GBP, see if we can go into there's no way you can get British pounds directly into Ethereum. Oh, hello.
Bitcoin baby.
Hello.
Hello, Toby the Bitcoin baby.
Hello, mate. Okay. Oh, he's coming in. He's coming in whether we like it or not. Hello, mate. How are you?
Who are you? Hello. Okay.
So.
I'm gonna just go for 1 minute and I'll be back.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, baby.
So,
baby.
we basically finished the first part really.
I think there was only a couple more questions we wanted to ask you, Matt, that I'm sure you could wrap up quite quickly.
Oh, listen to him. So you got Steam.
Oh, the 3 recommended coins.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show you those in a sec. So let's just go back to Steam. So if you ever want to get into Steam, you're going to be better off probably buying Bitcoin and then buying Steam. And you're going to do it either on Bittrex or Poloniex. Now, one of the things I want to put a word of caution on is if you're going into Poloniex, Poloniex sometimes they've messed up their quantity of Steam. Yeah. So they sometimes will say no Steam deposits allowed and no Steam withdrawals allowed.
What do you mean by those two, Matt?
What's that?
So when you're saying withdrawals and deposits,
they won't let you actually change. I did it happened with me the other day when I tried to deal with my Steam. They wouldn't let me do anything with it. They wouldn't let me withdraw. They wouldn't let me deposit.
It
just said it was currently unavailable.
This is Poloniex. Yes, this is a Poloniex market, and so you can see here, Dave. These are all the orders. So this is a more active market. Yeah, you can see these are all the buy orders.
Yeah.
And these are all the sell orders. You can see it's moving a lot.
Yeah.
And then this is the buy walls and the sell walls, like we saw before.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is the time and sales. So this is the history of all the trades that we're going through.
So this is just equivalent to what we were looking at on that black thing.
Yeah, they've all got the same things. They've all got the same things, basically.
I recognise this more because obviously I've looked at this more.
Okay, so if I go to Steam, I go to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And then I can type in here, because we know that Bitcoin, on Poloniex, Bitcoin is traded for Steam.
Yeah.
And click on the Steam. So I'll search for Steam.
Yeah.
So now we should have Steam come up. Well, Steam back dollars at 15 today. That's great.
However, the other day, this was temporarily unavailable.
Yeah. So right now,
Matt's saying about with Poloniex that they sometimes a bit with Steam.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's really great now is that they haven't. Normally the message is right on the first chart like that, and it'll say big yellow thing saying, "We currently are not accepting Steam transfer or deposits." Yeah.
Yeah.
Or withdrawals. So it's really dodgy to buy Steam on there when it says that, because you won't be able to get your Steam off.
Yeah.
And the idea with Steam is that you take your Steam to your Steam account and you can make passive income off it by upvoting and interacting with the market. So on Bitfinex you can normally get your Steam off, but right now you could, for example, you Sarah could send you Steam back dollars.
And it would work.
And actually, let's have a look. Let's click on Steam back dollars. Steam back dollars should be worth $1, and now they're worth like $15, which is absolutely crazy.
Is it on 15?
Yeah. Oh no. Oh. Sorry, my mistake. No, I don't know what it's worth because it doesn't tell you.
Okay.
Let's have a look at CoinMarketCap for Steam back dollars.
Yeah.
So
9. Yeah, that's about right. It's higher though.
It's really amazing. I mean, I sold all my Steam back dollars at $2. Steam back dollar, and it went to like 14 or something. And some people do all their posts purely in 50% Steam and then 50% Steam back dollars. They're post rewards, yeah. So some people have got like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 Steam back dollars, and now it's worth like times 10, so it's $40,000 all of a sudden.
Wow.
And when I upvote, people can accept my upvotes in Steam back dollars as well, and I'm giving you one Steam back dollar worth $9 times whatever my vote is. So before it used to be worth $1. And now, so my upvote used to be like $10 or something, yeah? Now my upvote's worth about $70 or $80. So you guys need to be getting on doing some good posts so I can pay you some money. So, last but not least, what else we're going to look at? Top 3 coins, was that the only other thing?
It was top 3 people to follow.
3 people to follow, yes, this is a really good one. I really like this this question because I think there's some really good people. So the first guy I follow is a guy called Chris Coney. He does a thing every day. So I don't know if you know about these crypto cats. You can breed crypto cats now, yeah.
And you can get land and stuff.
Yeah, you can buy land and you can get crypto cats, right? And you can breed the crypto cats together to make a new crypto cat. And these cats are trading for like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Because they're the first cats of their kind. Yeah, so he posts about how that works and what that is. Yeah, but he posts about everything to do with the crypto markets. Yeah, he's really, really good. Really clever guy. Let me see if I can just put one of his. And you see on Steam it there, he gets $81 for that post.
Wow.
Just give you a quick shot of what he's like. This is DTube. It's decentralized YouTube. So it's not YouTube anymore. People are using this.
Don't worry about a thing.
Don't worry, he's not crazy. He's not that good a singer either. But he's a really good guy. Really like Chris. Really trust him and the work that he does. So another guy is Crypto. Crypto is an absolute legend.
Oh, I follow Crypto.
Yeah, Crypto does these. He does like really detailed things, but he also does 1 minute summaries of what he does. So I'll play you one of his 1 minute summaries because they're really funny. Crypto Minute. Yeah, you gotta love Crypto. He's really good. He's really honest, really nice guy. Doesn't get paid by anyone.
Wallace, what are you gonna be doing with your Bitcoin? Bitcoin, Willis. Speak. Speak, Willis. We just got wind that apparently Coinbase has added Bitcoin Cash joins the full functionality and offerings of the likes of Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitfinex. It looks like they're becoming more of an exclusive, private, members-only invitation club. You won't even be able to register at all without an invitation code. They're having excessive, extreme demand for their platform. One Reddit user seems to have found a code, I don't know if it works, hashtag do not use Bitfinex. Bitmain will be releasing the next version of their Antminer S9 in February 2018. The only payment method available is indeed Bitcoin Cash. Real time, Bitcoin is down under 17,000. Holy crap. Oh my god, Bitcoin is indeed crashing. Bitcoin Cash is shooting up. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy.
So he's a pretty cool guy, but if you just got a minute to watch him, watch that. But he does like 20-minute, 30-minute videos, and he's a really nice guy. You gotta like the guy.
Another one. One more.
One more would be probably Crypto Investor, I'd say. Actually, let's have a look at him on Steam as well. I've got to give him an upvote because I like his work a lot. So this is Crypto Investor. Just to show you my upvote. The guy needs to be rewarded. He's absolutely brilliant. Actually, his analysis is excellent. And that's Steam backed dollars on top of that. So that's assuming Steam backed dollars is $12 worth of Steam backed dollars. But in reality, because Steam dollars are $8 each now, $9 each, it's actually 120 plus the 12. So it's crazy money. Yeah, it really is crazy money. And rightly so. These guys are amazing people. So Crypto Investor, he does some fantastic videos. And then you got all the comments on here on Steam. He got $25 for that. Okay, but
today we're going to talk about what could possibly be the next Verge within the cryptocurrency space.
Another episode.
Now I have to be very, very careful making videos like this one because I know a lot of you are going to talk in the comment section that I'm manipulating the market or that I'm pumping my holdings.
So he's really cool. He's really a very bland voice, but very accurate, well-versed guy. Knows what he's talking about, and can potentially save you a lot of money. Was there one to do with any coins?
Yeah, it was just asking about what the top 3 coins were as well. You can probably recommend at this very time.
Well, I'll tell you which coins I'm holding. I don't know whether they're good buys because I bought them a long time ago. But the coins that I hold, and the reason that I hold them is because most of them are passive income coins. Mm-hmm. So I generally try to hold passive income coins because I'll be able to make an income off them at a later time. Mm-hmm. So I hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, Steam, Veritasium, 10x, Status. Well, let's go into them a little bit. Yeah. So Ethereum's the blockchain upon which other blockchains will be built. Yeah. So
Ethereum's
yeah, it's kind of like the infrastructure of the internet of the future. Yeah. So no brainer there. Steam is a social media platform on the blockchain, which is really, really cool. Really love it. People are getting paid for blogging now. No censorship, no demonetization if possible. It's community governed, so it's a really interesting way of governing things. Veritasium is a private blockchain built by Reggie Middleton, which is going to try and take over what Wall Street does. And they've just released their initial trial for a platform, and that looks really, really amazing. 10x is the card system that I was showing you. So for getting your Bitcoin and cryptos transferred into fiat and then spending them on a card. Mm-hmm. They will pay a passive income to their holders. Status is about apps, so anyone that wants to make apps can go onto Status and get paid for making apps. So that's really good because before apps were not paid, they were decentralized. Open source apps weren't paid very well, whereas now people will be able to pay for the apps. EOS is a competitor to Ethereum. It's more specialized, let's say. It's got a high performance. It's not got the network effect yet that Ethereum has, but it's potentially going to be big in the future. So I own EOS as a hedge against Ethereum failing, because if Ethereum fails, EOS should do well, and if EOS doesn't do very well, Ethereum will do very well. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll both do well, so in which case it's a win-win. I own AdX, which is advertising on the blockchain. So it's pairing advertisers with content creators or with advertising space directly, rather than having a middleman advertising company. Populous is invoicing, which is going to be massive. It's going to be absolutely massive.
Populous is what, sorry?
Populous is invoicing, so they'll buy invoices off you.
Yeah.
instead of having to do it through a bank, you just do it peer-to-peer. Bitcoin Cash is essentially a competitor to Bitcoin, which has got faster transactions and lower fees. So Bitcoin Cash should do well in the longer run, but it's a big battle. There's lots of divisions in the community. In my opinion, the recommendation from me is to hold equal amounts of Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin. So if you ever sell Bitcoin, sell an equal amount of Bitcoin Cash. So if one fails like EOS and Ethereum, if one fails and the other doesn't, you win at the end of the day anyway.
That's 9. One more. 10.
Compcoin, I don't want to tell you about Compcoin. Yeah, it's got its trading bot that trades Euro futures, but it hasn't done very well for me, so I wouldn't really go crazy about that. Bitcoin Gold also. Bitcoin Gold is about the mining on Bitcoin Gold can only be done on smaller processors, not these big industrial processing plants. So at the moment Bitcoin has a problem because all the mining is done by these big companies, and so it's not really decentralized as it was supposed to be. So Bitcoin Gold kind of solves that problem. I've also got Tezos. Tezos is a really cool coin because it's gonna go. No one really knows where it's gonna go. It's gonna go where the community asks. It's the first coin that's got pure community governance. So everyone's really excited about Tezos. And I think that's it really. That's most of my coins.
Wicked.
So there we go.
Wow.
Thanks for that,
All right. So
I feel like I've got all this big brain now.
Oh, it's probably too much information, really.
That's good because then at least we can relay back to it as well.
I need to go and start making some investments in my future now. So later, guys.
Yeah.
You're ready. At least you're ready and armed with the information that you need.
I do feel ready and armed. I do.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everyone, and Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas.
Ooh, like
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Have a good one. Mwah. Bye bye.